go. And it's time for race number 12 of 29 in the 1989 Throwbacks. And we are here for the first time ever here in the Throwbacks. We're at Sears Point Raceway out in California, a road course not very similar to Riverside, but it's replacing Riverside. And well, it's got S-bends similar to Riverside. It's got hairpins after S-bends and stuff. And it's got a lot of elevation changes. You can see the top three in points. Richmond, Elliott, Earnhardt there. They have a pretty considerable lead for fourth on back. Fourth and fifth, Schrader and Bodine are teammates. They're battling each other. And then from sixth all the way down to about 16th or so, it's just a really, really close points battle from there on down. So we'll see how the road course changes things here. Brand new road course. Expecting a lot of good things from it. And we're going to see who our pole sitter is here. And it'll be, hey, it's the former Riverside winner, Phil Parsons, that will be your pole sitter. So the former Riverside winner will be your pole sitter for today's race. As we are going to just pick up the pace a little bit here. Fast forward to our race start. So here we go. So Phil Parsons is your pole sitter. Brett Bodine will be in second. Rusty Wallace third. Tim Richmond fourth. Terry Labonte fifth. Larry Pearson sixth. Wow. Seventh will be Jeff Bodine. Eighth will be Alan Kowicki. Ninth will be Mark Martin. And 10th will be Harry Gant. Here is your command. So the command has been given here. Pace cars rolling off. Now this is an interesting thing that's going on here, is that despite we are at a road course, you would think that the pole sitter would line up on the right hand side. However, the more advantageous line, at least on the more advantageous line on the starts, however, will be on the left hand side. So the pole sitter and whatnot will be restarting on the left hand side. .42 cars rolling off here for a 19-lap inaugural event here at California. The first event, and hopefully many more events here at Sears Point will come. Unfortunately, Riverside's buyout and demise happened. However, we're hoping that this track will be a suitable replacement for our road course need. Pace cars in pit road. The leaders are coming down to the line here after this left-handed kink, and it's uphill S's from here. The green flag is out here from Sears Point, California, and we are underway. Or Sonoma, California, I should say. Here comes Phil Parsons. He's going to rush into the first corner, well, the first hairpin anyways, and it looks like he's going to clear Brett Bodine on the inside. Phil Parsons is now going to run through these second S's, and he's going to pull away. Looks like Rusty Wallace is going to take the second position. Brett Bodine is going to fall to third. In fourth place, we've got the 11 car of Terry Labonte, and in fifth, we've got Tim Richmond. So that's how that's going to settle down. Larry Pearson falls into sixth. Bodine into seventh. Alan Kowicki trying to fight hard on the outside of this wide sweeping left-hander. We'll see if he can win this battle for Martin. The next corner is going to be a sharp breaking point hairpin right-hander. Here we go. It looks like Kowicki's going to clear him. Yes. And it looked like Pearson got the boot there from Bodine, but Bodine was unable to capitalize. We're all running through the S's, and I saw some dirt getting kicked up there. Eventually people going through the dirt, and indeed, yes, we've got major problems. Bill Elliott. What's going on? And you can see here, he just gets into the 28. People are just here, the 94 just goes off course, hits that, hits everything. And here we are for race number 12 of 29 in the 1989 Throwbacks. It will be our first ever race here at the Sears Point Raceway, which will be a replacement to the Riverside International Raceway that ended up getting bought out. It's another road course out in California of length 2.52 miles and should be interesting to see how the drivers get around it. Your top 3 points leaders still happen to be Richmond, Elliott, and Earnhardt, and they have a pretty considerable lead on Schrader and Bodine. And then Martin all the way down through Kowicki. It's a really tight points race, as little as 1 point separating 2 drivers there. So the big question is who's going to get the first ever pole here at Sears Point. And the answer is it's going to be Jeff Bodine. Jeff Bodine will get the first ever pole here at Sears Point. Oh. Oh boy. Anyways, here's your command. You're going to see the cars rolling off. Jeff Bodine is your pole sitter. Phil Parsons is second. Tim Richmond third. Ricky Rudd fourth. We've got Brett Bodine fifth. Rusty Wallace sixth. Terry Labonte seventh. Davey Ellison eighth. Harry Gant ninth. And Bill Elliott will be rounding out your top 10. So Jeff Bodine, no stranger to road course success. He actually has 2 wins in the Throwbacks at Riverside, so he knows how to get it done. Phil Parsons also has a victory at Riverside. You take a look at the 25 of Tim Richmond. He's got a victory at Riverside, so he also knows how to get it done. Well, you can take a look at Brett Bodine and Rusty Wallace, 2 people that, well, Brett Bodine anyways is winless for his career. Rusty Wallace had an astounding year last year, but has been disappointing to say the least this year so far. Luck has just not gone his way. So the 5 car is your pole sitter. You're coming up off of the hairpin turn. And here we go. Jeff Bodine's going to come through the left-handed kink here. Coming to the line. The green flag is out and we're underway here at Sears Point for the very first time. Here they come through the S's. Oh wow, Phil Parsons really fighting back there. 3 wide, further back in the pack. And it looks like Jeff Bodine, he was able to take the lead. Parsons second, Richmond third. Brett Bodine trying to eke away the 4th position. I don't think he's going to get it. Rudd should get it here, and indeed he will. Rudd will fall in the 4th. Look out! Oh, that was really close there by Terry Labonte. Here comes the 33 down to the bottom. The 11 goes wide. Harry Gant trying to make the pass here. I don't think he's going to get it done because he's going to be on the wrong end of the braking zone here. Indeed, he's not going to be able to hang on. In fact, his position might be being attacked now by Elliott. Bill Elliott really needs to improve his position if he is going to do well here. Meanwhile, Kyle Petty messing up there a little bit. Oh yeah, Kyle Petty is all sorts of beat up. I think he just got into the bad stuff there. Anyways, lap number 1 is going to go to Jeffrey Bodine. We stay green. Phil Parsons is really trying to attack right now. Overall, this is about what you would expect to see from a road course race. Not exactly a ton of passing opportunities. Right now, Jeff Bodine, he's doing what he needs to be doing right now. He's going to come through this hairpin at this end of the stretch. There's a similarly radius hairpin all the way down at the bottom of these S's. Boy, it looks like cars really love getting a little too wide there. Maybe people might want to start rethinking their strategy. Whoa, look at JD McDuffie there and Ernie Irvan almost getting together. That was a bit scary. Anyways, lap number 2, and it will be going to Jeffrey Bodine as well. Staying green so far. So far, so good. Despite being at a new track, which is a good thing. Hopefully, the growing pains will not be too difficult. Now, one driver that has really surprised me with their performance so far, and I should say surprised me with their lack of performance, is Mark Martin. Boy, he qualified really well, and now he's 11th. Well, not qualified really well, but practiced really well. He led everybody in practice times, but now he's in 11th, and oh boy, that's just not going to get you anywhere anytime soon. That's just not the kind of run that's going to get you a championship. And the same thing can be said here for Dale Earnhardt. He just got around Larry Pearson, rather, but for 16th position. If this keeps up today and he ends up not being able to make this stuff up, it's likely that he might be completely thrown out of the points race going into Summer Superspeedway Madness, which, by the way, is coming up next. The next 8 races, including this one, will not be a track any less than 2 miles in length, and the caution has come out. You see Jeff Bodine leading them back. So let's try to figure out what happened. Okay, so it was a really recent caution. There you can see the pace car being out. And oh, Mickey Gibbs and somebody getting together, AJ Foyt. So Mickey Gibbs drives too hard, he gets into the tires, Foyt follows him. And the 70 and the 57 also get involved, along with the 10. Derek Cope. Everyone else barely ekes by. So that'll be our first caution of the day here at Sears Point. Well, Jeff Bodine is your leader. Phil Parsons in second. Again, these two drivers absolutely no stranger to road course success here in California. Tim Richmond and Ricky Rudd, two really good road course drivers themselves. And then we have Brett Bodine, brother of the road course ringer Jeff Bodine. Jeff Bodine, well, he's not a road course ringer, but he's really good at road courses. The phenom from last year, Rusty Wallace. Davey Ellison, the phenom from the year before, and he's just had a couple, now what will probably be a second disappointing season. It's been a really rough going for that 2018. And then we've got Terry Labonte here in 8th. He's been having an up and down season thus far. Harry Gant having a solid resurgent season. He's currently in 9th. And Bill Elliott rounding out the top 10. Remember, he's second in points. But since Tim Richmond is third, he's probably going to lose big in points if he can't get through the field. Right now, if you take a look at it, 5, 10, 15, 18, 23, 27. So it looks like it will be a 31-point gain for Tim Richmond coming out of this race, if the race were to end now. And boy, that would be a huge 31 points. And to think that Earnhardt's even further back, he's going to be more than 100 points out away from Tim Richmond. And it's very likely that, if Richmond continues this tear that he's on, he might end up just running away with the championship. And it just might end up being, Tim Richmond being the champion, and that would be the second time that Richmond's won it in 3 years. Oh, and we got pit stops here. Oh boy. Here we go. The first time we're ever going to see pit stops at this track. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Here we go. Doesn't look like anybody stayed out. And it's going to be the 5 that's first off pit road, the 55 second, 25 third, 26 fourth, 15 fifth, 27 sixth, 28 seventh, 33 eighth, 9 ninth, and 11 in 10th. So no position changes within the top 10 on pit road. Interesting. Nobody opted to stay out, so everybody decided to just take their pit stop out of the way there. And if the cars fall right, I believe we should be going green this time around. Now the 17 and the 6, they're still on pit road, which is interesting. So Mark Martin's day has gone from bad to worse with that kind of an incident. Like we said, leader in practice, but running 11th, and now this. Kyle Busch, you must have hit that tire barrier really hard, because you can see, and the roof is all sorts of messed up there, especially in the rear. Luckily, this is a track where average speeds are pretty low, so that damage isn't likely to affect him much if it's solely physical damage. If there's any mechanical damage on the car, then yeah, that's a different story. If that's the only damage that's on the car, and there's nothing wrong with the motor or the suspension or anything, he should be good. Meanwhile, the lights are out on the Faces car, so we are going to be good to restart with 14 laps to go. And we'll see if anybody has any kind of contention for Jeff Bodine. I mean, I see it as really unlikely because, man, when Bodine gets out in front of these road courses, he's usually gone. So, but the thing is that Bodine hasn't been out in front of a road course since 1985. So, you know, he's been really good at road courses, but he just hasn't been good recently. Now he is good again, and he wants to contend for a championship. Which, hey, being 5th in points, that's not bad, all in all, but being 250 points out on your teammate Tim Richmond is not good. But hey, you have to say something about Rick Hendrick having all 4 of your cars inside the top 7 in points. That's just incredible. First off, we've never really heard of an owner owning 4 cars in a lineup before. That's just weird to begin with. And to top it all off, you know, here he is with all 4 of the cars in the top 7 in points. The top 7 in points has more Hendrick cars than there are other cars. It's crazy. Anyways, the field is coming down, and we're going to go green again here on lap number 6. See how long this goes for. We come through the S's again. So far, so meh. Nothing crazy there, but you can see Rick Mast, a couple of other people coming down pit row there. Oops. So Jeff Bodine, as you said, taking off. He doesn't want anything to do with this pack. Phil Parsons is trying to chase him down. And you've got Tim Richmond right behind him in 3rd. Ricky Rudd's right there for 4th. So these guys are just trying to one-up each other right now. If we take a look at the fastest lap charts right now, Jeff Bodine is the fastest with an average speed of 97.990 miles an hour, which I'll let you into a little secret. That's pretty slow. Now that's I believe that is the slowest average all year because I don't think Richmond had, not Richmond, I don't even think Martinsville had that slow of an average. So, yeah, it looks like that average, that fastest lap is going to be the slowest fastest lap of the year. And Jeff Bodine being out in front of everybody just pulled the fastest lap there with a 97 mile an hour lap on average. And it doesn't look like anyone else is even close to that. The closest is 2nd place Phil Parsons, though. He's going to try to reel back in the 5. Doesn't look like the 5's really pulling away here, though. And the distance right now is pretty equal, you can say, between the 5 and the 55, but maybe we'll see if he can try to run them down any or not. Boy, these cars look so close going through that hairpin, and they look so far away once they start accelerating out. It's really weird. You'd think, oh, there's some close battles up here, and there's some passing going on, and there really isn't. Speaking of passing, we might be getting some passing going on here. Nope, not going to happen. Maybe. Oh, Brett Bodine was given the boot, but nothing. Jeff Bodine comes back, and now the caution's back out. And it's again a really recent yellow. This time it's Richard Petty, I think, going off track. Richard Petty definitely going off track there, but I don't think that's the yellow flag cause. Oh, here it is. Got the 52 spinning. Is that it? Jimmy Mean spins in the S's. Wow, what a caution flag. Hey, this is a road course event. I don't think we should be throwing cautions for something like that. But hey, it is NASCAR, and they can officiate whatever way that they feel is fit. So obviously we're going to be inside 10 laps to go already on the next restart. So if there was anybody that was on the 1 lap down, they wouldn't be able to restart on the inside line anyways. But that's it. Cars are just weaving through the S's. We're pretty much just waiting for this race to go back green. There's really not much to say. Meanwhile, more people are coming down pit road again. Looks like it's a 50-50 call here. More like a 75-25 call, or no, it's a really big majority call to go down pit road. Not a lot of people decided to stay out, but some did. Trying to take a risk, perhaps. Some people want track position, some people want fresh tires. Me personally, I'd want the track position here. That's the most important thing. But hey, if fresh tires are what you think is going to win a race, you come down pit road, get fresh tires, but man, you're going to be put back in the field. Not really. You're going to be put 7th. Well then, so your leader is still Jeff Bodine. Ricky Rudd is 2nd, Larry Pearson 3rd. Kyle Petty's going to be scored 4th. Just look at that car. Mark Martin 5th, and then Darrell Waltrip will be scored 6th. So those were the drivers that did not pit. Everybody else came down pit road, got 4 fresh tires. They are going to be Phil Parsons in the 55 on back. So you can see here, 7th will be Phil Parsons, 8th will be Tim Richmond, 9th Brett Bodine, and 10th will be Rusty Wallace. Bill Elliott currently lines up 12th, which is really not a help for Elliott. That's 4 positions back on Tim Richmond, so that's going to be in that position, 25 to 30 points. Gone. And it's just not working. So Bodine, he's going to retain the lead, but he's on old tires. Is that going to matter? My instinct says no, but my instinct could also be wrong, and he could be forced to come down pit road again. Who knows? But my instinct tells me that, well, if the caution doesn't come back out, Bodine will almost certainly be your winner. If the caution comes back out again, it's a different story. And of course, if two more cautions comes out, then the race will end underneath yellow, and Bodine will just be declared your winner. 36 cars are still in this race. All 36 cars are on the lead lap. Of course they are. It's a road course. What did you expect? Oh boy. So 10 laps to go when we come to the line. We'll be pretty much halfway done with this race. So we'll see Bodine come through this hairpin again, and this will be all single file. See Bodine really try to defend that outside wall, make sure nobody gets a jump on him on this restart. That's going to be the big key. So here we go. Bodine's going to come down to the line, and the green flag is back underway. 10 laps to go. Here comes the 26. Oh, it looks like that somebody did not get going there, and I think it would be Kyle Petty in the 42. Yes, he did not get going, and Tim Richmond stuck behind him. Tim Richmond got in the wrong line, and now here comes Bill Elliott. Oh boy, that was big. Just a huge development there. Now Elliott's going to be stuck behind the 42. And oh, Richmond being pinned down to the inside of that corner. There's really no grip there. But now Richmond's going to battle back on the outside. He's gone off. Oh, I thought he's gone off track. Oh, good Lord. I thought he went right off the track there, but that did not happen. And now Elliott has overtaken Tim Richmond. But Richmond fights back. He puts the bumper to him. Richmond not giving up. Nines bobbing, weaving through the S's. And Brett Bodine is way off there. But he comes back on. He's fine. Elliott is clear of Richmond. That's pretty much all he's asking for right now. Richmond's going to try to dive bomb him going into the hairpin. Oh, Elliott just doesn't have the car to compete with Richmond, does he? He's going to try. He's going to try. Meanwhile, we got a battle for the lead. Here comes Ricky Rudd down to the bottom. Oh, look at the side of the 5 car. It's all messed up. Contact maybe between the 5 and the 26. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. But Ricky Rudd almost got Jeff Bodine. Bodine defended his lead, though. He's going to have it for a while. Meanwhile, Richmond got into the grass a little bit. Here comes Elliott. Now, it might be a little bit too early to be focusing in on the championship battle, but hey, why not? Only 50 points separate these two drivers right now, so it's just a big battle going on. You can see the 17 going out wide. Darrell Waltrip, I think, is just trying to get a solid finish in here. He really, he just hasn't had sustained success with Hendrick ever since coming to that 17 car, even though he's been in the top 10 in points. So he's been in the top 10, but what he hasn't been is up front, only winning one race since 1986. And there you see Richmond going around. Now the caution flag is out, and that's bad news for Jeff Bodine, as we said before. So this wreck happened pretty early on, so we'll see. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Lake speed. What happened here? Oh, he just approached it way too hot and he slams into the tire barrier. My good lord, I've never seen anything like that. Slammed into the tire barrier. I mean, he slammed it. Watch this again. Oh, he's so lucky. One more time. That was a passenger side impact and it didn't roll over on the driver's side at all. Good lord, that could have been a lot worse. He's going to be okay from that accident. He is okay from that accident, so that is good. Anyways, now Larry Pearson with issues. And that's kind of sad because Larry Pearson was having a really good run in 5th. You can see he's pulled way out of line. He's in the grass. Potentially a mechanical issue here underneath the yellow flag. He's way in the grass. What is he doing? I'll tell you what he is doing. He is slowing this pack down. And there you can see the 4 is coming down pit road. 17 is going to come down pit road. Maybe. Yep, everybody that didn't pit last time is coming down pit road, as I figured. New leader is going to be the 55, and Jeff Bodine is going to walk out of this race with a poor performance. Oh, no. He's going to go behind all those drivers. Good Lord, that was just... I knew that was going to happen too. Look at this. Look at where they're going to place, rather, Jeff Bodine. This is... That was just terrible pitch strategy on that 5 team. They had this race won and in the bag. It's the same thing for Ricky Rudd and anybody that didn't pit last time. That is just awful. Meanwhile, the Jackson brothers, they gotta be doing cartwheels right now. They are 1-2. Look at this. That is pretty good. The number 55 Crown Petroleum Oldsmobile, Phil Parsons. He's already got a win this season. He is your leader. Harry Gant, who has not gotten a win since 1984, I believe. 84 or 85, one of the two. He is currently in second place. Remember, he's the 1984 Daytona 500 winner. He was the first ever winner in the Throwbacks. Now the caution comes back out again. I think that'll be the end of the race. Now the question is, Jackson Brothers going to be content with this 1-2 finish with Phil Parsons leading, or do you think that they're going to try to manage this in some way where Harry Gant will get the win? I think they're going to have to try to pull away from Rusty Wallace first. I mean, there you go. That's probably the biggest threat. Somehow Bill Elliott's worked his way up to 5th. That's astounding. Same thing with Dale Earnhardt. You know, I thought he was having a garbage day. Here he is in the top 10. So Elliott up to 6th. Earnhardt up to 8th. Just overall not bad days right there. Anyways, here they come up off the final turn, and the green flag is out. It looked like Gant was going to try to be aggressive. This is Gant's first real opportunity to try to look at this. He's going to try to make the move on the outside. Speaking of aggressive, that is crazy aggressive. Yeah, that is almost ludicrously aggressive. He's going to barely hold off the 27. 27 had to check up there. So Gant almost lost second place there while trying to battle for the lead. Meanwhile, oh boy, Elliott's going to lose a position there. He was not good off of that corner. Brett Bodine, I should say. Jeff Bodine is all of a sudden all the way back in 27th position because he had to pit. Just terrible news. Right now, the Jackson brothers are looking at a 1-2 finish. Can Gant pull this off? This would be crazy if I were to say that the Jackson brothers would pull off a 1-2 finish with Phil Parsons and Harry Gant in 1989. Now, if someone made this prediction not too long ago, then caution's out. Caution's out. Here's the race back to the line. You can see Richmond getting the 4th position away. No, not quite. Brett Bodine's going to try to beat him back. Who got it? Brett. We're actually going to have another restart. Oh, we got a mess. Oh, good Lord, look at this. Oh, Larry Pearson flipping. T-bone on the passenger side by Darrell Waltrip. Try to figure out how this started. So contact happens here between Pearson and Kowicki. Pearson goes into the tire barrier. He gets popped by Ernie Irvin, rather. Passenger side. Lucky. One more look at it. Yep. Lucky. And meanwhile, the battle for 4th place here. Here comes Brett Bodine off the hairpin. Just barely beat him. Barely. Now we're going to get one more restart here now. Imagine if everybody pits again, except for the people that didn't pit last time, and that's going to put Jeff Bodine back out in front. That'd be something. Actually, that would put Ricky Rudd out in front. He's in 21st. That would definitely be something to see. Crazy stuff here. No pit stops. Yeah, so we're going to get one more chance to finish this race under green, it looks like. We'll see, the lights haven't come off yet. Oh, issue with the 27. Oh, no, not again. Not again. Boy, Rusty Wallace is just having that really bad luck that he had right at the end of the 1988 season seems to be carrying right over to 1989. That is just awful, blowing up like that. I just don't have words for that. So that's going to put Brett Bodine in the third position in what I have to say is one of the wackiest races that I've seen in quite a while. I got to say, come back here to Sears Point. Don't go away from this venue. This has actually been a pretty fantastic race. I really can't complain. It's been pretty good for a road course. So here we go. 33 and 55. And there you see the, oh man. So I'm just going to start going through here, and boy, as soon as you look at this, look at 11th through 20th right now. Definitely a lot of drivers that you would not expect to see inside the top 20 are currently inside the top 20. So let's take a look at this. First off, Michael Waltrip, 11th. You've got, how about Chad Little in 15th, Rick Mass 16th, Eddie Bierschel 17th, Rodney Coombs 18th. How did that happen? Well, you've got 10 drivers who have wrecked out of the race, plus more. So, yeah, it's surprising to see somebody, I mean, those drivers to be in the top 20, but you know what? Good for them, and hopefully that leads to even more better runs in the future. Meanwhile, 3 laps to decide who is going to win the first ever Banquet Frozen Foods 300. Phil Parsons is coming to the line. His teammate, Harry Gant, behind him. The green flag is back in the air. No changes thus far. It looks like Gant got a good run there. Can he run down his teammate Parsons? I think this is, no, Parsons pulls away. I think this is going to be Parsons' second win this year. Third of his career. Oh, Brett Bodine almost ran out of racetrack. Hang on to it, Brett. This would be Brett's best career finish if he were to hold on to it for third. He's got a NASCAR champion behind him in the form of Tim Richmond. Oh, he's trying really. Look at this. Look at that move in the hairpin. Just barely being able to hold off the 25. Caution's not out yet, folks. Meanwhile, looks like Phil Parsons is just driving away from his teammate. Oh, we've got pit stops? Everybody's pitting. Everyone's pitting under green. Except the 66 of Rick Mast. No. Just no. Are we going to see one of the biggest upsets in NASCAR? All of a sudden, all these people have to come to pit road. 2 laps to go. Oh, my dear Lord. Rick Mast is your leader. Man, oh man. I don't really have anything else to say. The rookie, Rick Mast. Oh, we've got a stalled car. Is that going to bring out the yellow? And we got a car in the barrier, the 29. The yellow flag is being displayed. Rick Mast only needs to hold on to the lead coming to the line, and he's got about a 1.4 second advantage on... No, not even that. Here comes Jeff Bodine. Can he hold him off to the line? And then does he have enough fuel to complete the final lap? Here comes Jeff Bodine. Can he steal this win away from Rick Mast? Bodine swings wide. Mast is going to take a very conservative line through the hairpin. Bodine's not going to get him. Rick Mast is going to come off the hairpin and come and take the white and yellow flag en route to his first career win here at Sears Point. I don't believe it. All those drivers had to come down pit road, potentially some kind of fuel situation. And Rick Mast, the race is underneath the yellow flag. There will be no more passing in this race. It will be just left to see who is going to make it to the flag. Jimmy Means is going to finish 4th. Jimmy Spencer 7th. Wasn't he up on his side earlier in this race? Something? I don't know. The 17 was on an embankment earlier. I know that. Waltrip was on an embankment earlier, and he's going to finish 6th. I know Morgan Shepherd had problems. He's going to finish 5th. I got to tell you what, right now, if you were betting on NASCAR and you put money on Rick Mast, congratulations, you are about to win a lot of money. I don't think that there's a single person in the stands today that thought that this number 66 car was going to go to victory lane. This marks the first time that a rookie is going to win a race since Michigan in 1987, when Davey Allison got his first career win. But that was not on pit strategy. That was on pure speed. Rick Mast has just outsmarted the entire field. And all he needs to do is make it to the line. That's all he needs to do is make it to the line, man. Is there enough? Boy, if I was him, I'd be down in 4th gear and I'd just be praying for this thing to just crawl across the line. Just try to use as little fuel as possible. Coast. Yeah, coast down the hill. Look at this. Elliott's going to end up... Look at this. Richmond, Elliott, and Earnhardt are going to finish within 4 positions of each other. Meanwhile, something going on here. Oh, Jimmy Spencer, he's not going to be able to make it. Meanwhile, Rick Mast, he's going to come off the final hairpin. There's no way. Here he comes to the line. The number 66 Banquet Chevrolet has just won here at Sears Point. Underneath the yellow flag. unbelievable. Just unbelievable. That is only the second time in the entirety of the 1980s that a rookie has won a race. Can you even fathom that? Can you even fathom what's going through that kid's head right now? Rick Mast just won a race. Oh my good lord. Celebrate hard, man. You just got one of the that has to be up there with Greg Sachs winning the Daytona 500 as far as underdog victories are concerned. Like that was completely out of left field. Yeah, we had to check our scorecards first to make sure that Rick Mast was on the lead lap. He was. Everybody's on the lead lap because it's a road course. And Rick Mast outplayed him today. So we take a look at the standings. 50 points now separate Richmond and Elliott. No surprise there. And you want to see what that win did for Rick Mast? Well, it was his first top 10 of the season. 4 DNFs. It moves him up to 30th in points. And all of a sudden, he is not that far away from Jimmy Spencer. So he might start trying to creep into the top 25 in points. So we'll see if that happens, but I just can't express my words right now. Rick Mast wins at Sears Point. We'll see if the chaos continues next time at Pocono.